Everyone has an opinion about Canadian federal politics.
Oh, yeah.
I'll now turn the floor over to Chief Adam. Chief Adam, the floor is yours, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. One of the things is for land acknowledgement for the Algonquin and Ojibwe, Mohawk, and the Cree that we come to your territory. My name's Chief Alan Adam from the Athabasca Chippewa First Nation. And I want to say thank you to Tammy, Lawrence, and to President Cardinal for coming with us to make our submission here today. You know, one of the things that we look at about our community and talk about climate change as an issue, not knowing that it would turn into a man-made disaster when you look at it from a holistic approach, because this was in relation to the community of safe evacuation from a fire that happened in 22 where our community was evacuated. And we entered into the similar situation in 2023 where not only we were put up against fires around the community, but with low water drought as well, which caused significant damage to the community by boat access. And we were trying to fix the problem by asking Transport Canada if they could dredge it so we could have safe passage if we needed to evacuate for an emergency situation. Transport Canada came back and said, no, you cannot do nothing. We went on to said we needed to get this done, and we were going to do it without Transport Canada's advice. After learning the fact that if we were to put any kind of machinery to dredge it out whatsoever, I, as the chief of the Athabasca Chippewa First Nation, would be put in jail. That is the only solution. That Transport Canada sent us a letter stating to the fact that you will be incarcerated and that charges will be laid against you. We have the letter, an email that was sent to us. So this is coming from the bureaucrat system. And this is where we said, okay, we're going to make changes to this, and then we will go through the system. When we went through the system, we hired a contractor. The contractor found the contaminants based on the research that was done through Transport Canada, dating back all the way to 1997. How many governments were in power since 1997? Don't look at the fact that it is now the current government of the Trudeau government under the Liberal banner. Both PCs and Liberals had power since then, based on my recollection. I'm not here to point fingers at anybody to say you've done wrong. I'm here to tell you to come and fix the problem that is arise in our community. So maybe the community wouldn't speak about the cancer issues that are causing the effects of people dying constantly in our community with the environmental effects. I've always said this before, that one day our community would be environmental refugees. Thanks to Canada and Transport Canada, alongside with your baby sister or the provincial government, Alberta, we are leading down that path of environmental refugees because we cannot drink contaminated water. You know, every year we see our community members go down to the beach and celebrate with the kids on Canada Day about the celebration about what it is that Canada has to offer to us, not knowing of the disaster that was laid out before us. And yet we watched our kids, adults, all swimming there having fun. Next year, in 2025, knowing that this is all out in the open, you're not going to see one kid on that water. But this has been going on. We can't continue to live down this path when you say that we are one of the G7s of the world. Our water contamination in the community for CHIP is at a third world level when it comes to contaminants. And it's done by industrial movement components that were upstream from us. The spill that happened in the 80s, the spill that happened in the 90s, the spill that just recently happened with the Imperial site, all these are starting to accumulate. Nothing will be left unturned. These things have to be fixed. If not, we will continue to embarrass you all. You are all the ruling governments of this country named Canada, both PC, Liberal, NDP, the Green, the Bloc. You're all part of the whole situation. So nobody is covered under who? The Crown? No. This is your mess. We need to clean this up. Because I can't stand there and tell our young kids not to go swimming anymore in our beautiful lake. For years, I've swam on the lakes, down by the big dock, down by the forestry dock. I played on the beaches as a kid. In 1997, I was probably just coming 31 years old. I still swam in those areas with my kids. So when is this going to become an issue for the country of Canada to address this as a major issue? Because our community has been speaking on environmental issues on the health concerns since 1992. Our people are contracting rare diseases, rare cancers, autoimmune diseases high in the community. Skin rashes are so high that it's unaccounted for. Kids, we can't even find the right medication for kids for the skin rashes that they have developed today. And what's that from? Is it from contaminated water that's continuing to be out there in the public eye? We need to address this issue, and we need to address this issue immediately. No more pointing fingers at anybody whatsoever. If it's going to cost $25 million to remediate the big dock, fix it up. Then we will take ownership of the big dock like Canada wants us to do, or Transport Canada. They've been lobbying myself ever since 2013. In 2013, it was the Harper government that was in power. And they've been asking us to take over the liability of the big dock, knowing full well of all the contamination there. And I am glad that we as the community decided not to take the ownership of it. Because look at the mess that we would have taken on. And we would have signed off on Canada's part to relinquish you of all your responsibilities and duties and your fiduciary responsibility to the community of Fort Chip, because you are an elected member of Parliament that was supposed to correct the wrongdoing on environmental issues. Do not get mistaken. The Peace River and the Athabasca River, along with Lake Athabasca itself, is listed on the 7 major rivers of runway that go through Canada. The Athabasca River runs through Fort Chip and continues on going down to the Peace River. Just because it's a lake doesn't mean it's not a river, because the current still goes right through our community. We take our water intake from it, everything. So we have a lot of concerns from the community. Our people are stressed out. I get phone calls from people this past summer asking me, Chief, is it safe to go swimming? You know what I tell them for the first time? Don't go swimming in that lake. Stay away from there until we fix it up. So now I'm asking, fix it up. Because do not let this embarrassment to continue on. It's a black eye for Canada in regards to how you guys treat First Nations communities up north. Even yet, the biggest environmental or the biggest industrial movement is happening 200 kilometers upstream from us. And we're affected downstream by everything that comes there. We're not saying that we're not part of the cause of the problem, but we're saying that we're going to help fix this problem once and for all. And we need your assistance. If not, we will do it ourselves. And if Transport Canada wants to put me in jail, by all means, go ahead and do so.
Thank you very much for your opening remarks, Chief Adam. I'll now turn the floor over to Ms. Ulsgaard. Ms. Ulsgaard, the floor is yours.
Everyone has an opinion about Canadian federal politics.